Hi, welcome to Dog Ears and Tall Tales. I'm Kelly, and today we are doing a book unboxing, A Knight in Shining Armor by Jude.
I think it's Deveraux. This one I honestly thought was a new romance. I got it at this indie bookstore that I loved in Pennsylvania, Maybe Books. And honestly, the new cover tricked me. It's a kind of an older romance, but I still think will be very fun. I haven't read it yet.
Douglas Montgomery has tried everything to achieve the perfect balance between self-sufficient and sexy, independent and agreeable. Exactly the kind of woman she thinks a man would want. I kissed Shara Wheeler.
McQuiston. Casey McQuiston is one of my authors. I love them. I love all their stuff. They wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is like their biggest one.
Yes, and One Last... I've heard of One Last Stop.
I kissed Shara Wheeler, which was their intro to YA, which is very fun.
How to Be a Good Creature, a memoir in 13 animals.
Simon Montgomery is also one of my, god tier authors. She wrote The Soul of an Octopus, which is probably her biggest book, which Remarkably Bright Creatures was based on. Like a lot of
I loved Remarkably Bright Creatures.
I did too, and I loved the movie, and so that book got me into Simon Montgomery, who I absolutely adore, and this was just adorable and amazing.
That was Casper. She Who Became the Sun, Shelley Parker Chan. He Who Drowned the World.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, it's a historical fiction kind of Mulan-esque, but in a very genderqueer, a little that you're not quite sure if it's magic, kind of not quite fantasy, historical fiction. They're I don't have a good way to describe it, and they're really good, but they're kind of dark and dense.
Oh my gosh, I loved this book.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think Harrow the Ninth.
Harrow's my favorite.
That was my favorite. By Any Other Name by Erin Cotter.
Mm-hmm. I've not read this one. It's a Shakespeare retelling that honestly I bought at Community Bookstore in Brooklyn. It sounded honestly very silly.
London, 1593. 16-year-old Will Hughes is busy working on Shakespeare's stage, stuffing his corsets with straw and pretending to be someone else. Offstage, he's playing a part too, the son of traitors. Will is desperate to keep his identity secret, or else risk being killed in the Bloody Queen's imperial schemes. All he wants is to lie low until he earns enough coin to return to his family. When his mentor, the famous playwright Christopher Marlowe, is murdered under mysterious circumstances, Will's plans are hopelessly dashed. What's worse, Marlowe was a spy for the Queen, tasked with stalking a killer rumored to be part of an elusive order of assassins, and his secrets and untimely death have put Will under a harsh spotlight. A Little Queer Natural History by Josh L. Davis.
It's just a really cute little book talking about queer stories in nature and in natural history.
From a pair of male swans raising young to split-gill mushrooms with over 23,000 mating types, sex in the natural world is wonderfully diverse. Mm-hmm. The Adventure Zone, The Crystal Kingdom, Petals to the Metal, Murder on the Rockport Limited. Here There Be Gerblins.
Yeah, these are the graphic novel adaptations of a Dungeons & Dragons podcast.
Fun Home, a family tragicomic.
Alison Bechdel. And I mean, it's what the musical Fun Home is based on. This is kind of the story of Alison learning about her dad's gayness as well as her own.
Ooh, Plant Life, the Scandalous Truth about the sex life of plants. Did you know that bee orchids trick insects into having sex with them? Or that avocado flowers open female one day and male the next? Light from Uncommon Stars.
Probably one of my top 20 books of all time. It's science fiction. I mean, it's queer. There's donuts, there's space, there's a violin prodigy, just all sorts of fun and crazy stuff going on.
The Village Beyond the Mist. And you said you worked on this?
Yeah, so I used to work in book PR and marketing, and actually the firm I worked for did this is an advanced reader copy. We made influencer boxes for this book, so it's the inspiration for Spirited Away, and we did these really honestly gorgeous book boxes that were the art from the book, which is just absolutely amazing, and it's a really cute story of this girl going to a little village and meeting a lot of characters that feel very reminiscent of Spirited Away. And it just is an absolute delight of 120-ish pages and was so fun to work on. The folks at Restless Books who publish this and work on a lot of other things are just published this American and English translation for the first time, are just an absolutely spectacular group, little publisher out of, I think they're in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but they are just an absolutely amazing team. Everything they work on is great. And actually, before this translation, the only one that had ever been done, I think, was in the 70s. And it was like a translation for school children learning English in Japan.
Cemetery Boys. You said you liked this one.
Cemetery Boys is definitely up there in like top 3 favorite books of all time. I love really anything with queer ghosts, and it just is like a phenomenal story of, I mean, ghosts and Dia de los Muertos culture and, you know, trans identity and falling in love with somebody who's maybe a ghost, which actually I love books where somebody's a ghost and you go, how can they ever be together? And then often they figure it out. Like I love, oh my gosh, what is it by Ashley Poston? Dead Romantic. It was her first foray into adult. And Bronze Drum I got, I think years ago, haven't read it. I love the cover.
A Novel of Sisters and War. American fantasy.
Yeah, by Emma Straub. It has a really kind of interesting conceit.
When the American fantasy cruise ship set sail for a 4-day themed voyage, aboard are all 5 members of a famous 90s era boy band and 3,000 screaming women who have worshipped them since childhood.
Got that one also at a great indie bookstore, Spineless Reads.
I think we disagree on this one. I was very disappointed. And that being said, I think I still gave it at least 3 stars, maybe even 3.5. But I think my expectations were so high that I was disappointed. I think if I went into it without such high expectations, I probably would have liked it more.
Yeah, I think I went into it with exceptionally high expectations, and there were so many things that I adored about it. I honestly could see what people didn't like about it, but a lot of it like really got me and was good. Love Katabasis. Or Katabasis, or however you want to say it.
I was going to say, I've heard people say it different ways.
I've heard R.F. Kuang herself say Katabasis, so that's what I've been going with. But
okay,
I've read everything of hers, but I haven't read the Poppy War series.
I loved the Poppy War series. I also liked, and I've heard Babel or Babel.
Yeah, I say Babel.
I liked that one too.
Yeah, I liked Yellowface too. I
haven't read that one yet. Priory of the Orange Tree. I did read this.
I did too, and I was disappointed.
Really?
I don't think she does naval battles very good. There's a really big naval battle at the end, and I think it was too confusing.
I really liked it.
I think kind of opposite. I think I went in really high expectations, and I will say also, I do own fan art from Priory of the Orange Tree because I like the art so much, but I didn't love it. There's other Samantha Shannon that I want to read that I haven't gotten around to.
Same. And now back to, I've heard about this one. I have not read it.
Yes, I do have the first one. First time caller. I adore BK Borison. They're retellings of Nora Ephron films, and I'm a huge rom-com, huge Nora Ephron person. So the first one is kind of a Sleepless in Seattle, and then this is When Harry Met Sally. It's kind of a Grumpy Sunshine energy. And I didn't like this one as much as I liked First Time Caller, but I did really enjoy it, and I'm really excited. I think the last one is Long Time Listener. Book 3 is coming out early next year.
The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. I've heard such great things about this.
I love V.E. Schwab, but this is the book that got a lot of people, including me, into V.E. Schwab. I honestly, I have a friend who he probably reads 400, almost all high fantasy books every year, and he loved it. And he got me into it several years ago when it was really big, when I was getting back into reading, and it just is a phenomenal story. I would recommend, Gallant, which I think is YA, V.E. Schwab, maybe the only V.E. Schwab book I wouldn't recommend. But everything else of hers that I've read, love it. Some of just my favorite childhood YA. I love Stephanie Perkins. First one's Anna and the French Kiss. Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and then Isla and the Happily Ever After. Just really cute YA 2010s romance that just I don't know, as a teenager made my heart pitter patter. And I have Stephanie Perkins's, she's an adult romance that came out last year that I bought at Parnassus Books in Nashville, Ann Patchett's bookstore. Amazing that I have not read yet. I'm very excited. It's called Overdue, and I'm very excited to read it because I just love how Stephanie Perkins writes.
The Dispossessed
by Ursula K. Le Guin. I haven't actually read any Ursula K. Le Guin. I need to. She is kind of one of the fantasy greats, especially for women. She wrote, is Ursula K. Le Guin the Earthsea books? I believe so. And there's honestly an essay by her that defines how I think about English and teaching English.
The Glass Castle. I feel like I've heard of this one.
I have too. I haven't read it, but I've heard, I think I've heard that it will tear you apart, but also it's absolutely phenomenal.
Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I haven't heard of this one.
Yeah, so this one is kind of super villains, best friends to enemies, kind of really cool magic system. I haven't read the second one, Vengeful, and then there's a third one that's coming out actually this year that people start to get arcs of, but this one was really good.
I hated this book.
I haven't read it. I've heard good things.
I hated it. I wanted to love it. Like, a female chemist, loved the premise, hated the book.
Okay. I know there's a movie or the TV show's already out? Movie coming?
I don't know. I almost DNF'd it.
Whoa.
But it was an audiobook, so I kept going. But I just, hated it.
Shatter Me, which is second in the pile, is the first one in these. Again, kind of 2010s YA fantasy. Terra Mafia is, a really great author. I devoured these when I was a kid, and I was like, I should bring them back and reread them and read the rest of the series because people absolutely love them.
One Last Stop.
I don't know if this is my signed one or not. I have 2 copies of One Last Stop. It is. This one's from East City Books in DC, and I had to buy it. I love Casey McQuiston, as I have literally already said. It is romance. It's a little sci-fi. I read this book years and years and years ago, and it is absolutely stunning. I don't think that many people go back and read Emily Henry's fantasy. This is a YA fantasy. I didn't stop thinking about it for months, and it just is really, really good. And I honestly think people should go back and read Emily Henry's. I think if I reread all of her books, this one would probably actually rank pretty high. Great Big Beautiful Life, so good. Another book I got at Mabee Bookstore in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Love Great Big Beautiful Life. People felt mixed about it. I loved the way that she mixed kind of romance with some kind of darker things in this one and kind of went out of her comfort zone. Okay, this is a book that I got as a gift from my aunt and was amazing. It's from the perspective of a bee in the colony, and she's a little worker bee, and it just is the stuff that she does. And I think she at one point kind of has to break the mold and do things obviously it's very much anthropomorphizing animals in these bees, but I remember it just being so good and so cool and just so fresh and new, literally just the perspective of a bee. I love Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I need to read the other 2 in the Seven Reach trilogy. I read this for class. I took a sci-fi class. It was literature in the Anthropocene and just talking about how nature talks about kind of our current epoch in human, well, not even just in human history, in kind of natural history. But this one is, people love it or they hate it, and the movie's very different.
The Magic Fish.
Which is just, it was so cute. It was so fun. Do I remember much about it? No, I should probably reread it. I just read Trung Le Nguyen's newest book. Oh my gosh, which I think is called The Bear Prince. Also very, very cute, very fun. Another YA kind of dystopian series that I loved as a kid. Legend is the first one. I remember reading them in a week. And I have Marie Lu. I have Red City, which is an adult fantasy that came out, I think, end of last year by her, and that I haven't read yet, but I've heard really good things about.
Ready or Not. I love this cover. This cover's so pretty.
Ready or Not is there were 2 books I read last year, and I was a pregnancy trope hater, but they changed my mind. Ready or Not and Ready or Not by Cara Bastone is a pregnancy trope book that I loved. I ate it up, and I thought I was going to hate it, and the same thing is true for Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. They were actually really quite good, and I did not think I would feel that way, but so much so they were both 5 stars for me, both top books of the year.
I'll have to give it a try then.
Silent Spring is just, a very important book in natural history and also in just science in general. Saved a lot of Golden Eagles.
Women of Resistance, Poems for a New Feminism.
I think I have several books with just kind of feminist poetry in here. And Alice Oseman. Radio Silence I've read. I Was Born for This. Radio Silence is really good. Oh my gosh, is it? So all of Alice Oseman's books are connected, but they're not necessarily connected in a big way.
Okay.
So Radio Silence, I think, is connected to is it connected to Charlie's older sister from Heartstopper? I think so, but it might be a friend of hers. It's somehow connected. This is Dorothy Allison. I actually need to read all of Trash, but this is actually a really kind of important short story collection, both to me. There are parts of it that were just literature that changed my life. But it's basically it's about being white trash in kind of rural America, and then the queerness kind of saving her from that cycle of kind of abuse and pain. So
interesting.
Honey Girls was really big a couple of years ago. Kind of a queer literary fiction-y romance.
With her newly completed PhD in astronomy in hand, Grace Porter goes on a girls' trip to Vegas to celebrate. She's a straight-A, hardworking high achiever. She is not the kind of person who goes to Vegas and gets drunkenly married to a woman whose name she doesn't know until she does exactly that.
It's a very fun ride.
Oh my gosh, that sounds insane. Autumn
by Allie Smith. I've heard phenomenal things. I'm not often in the mood for very, very literary fiction, but this series is, it's all of the seasons, and I've just heard great things, and I thrifted this one a couple of years ago.
I just finished the audiobook of this last month.
I love the Anthropocene Review. Their essays I go back to often in this book. And I actually was just pitching it to one of my coworker friends to be like, you have to read the one, because I have a lot of coworkers who love Dr. Pepper. I was like, you have to read the one about Dr. Pepper. Check, please. I mean, actually, very relevant right now because of the success of Heated Rivalry and also Off Campus. But, you know, some queer graphic novels about hockey that are a couple years old, but are so fun. And also baking, they're really cute.
Oh, there's a pie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he bakes and he plays hockey. And great kind of intro graphic novel that are very fun, very fast, too. Yes. The Invention of Nature is about the concept of nature being invented by Alexander von Humboldt.
Legends and Lattes. I did read this.
Mm-hmm. I loved it.
I thought it was really cute too. Yeah. Yes, I've read all 3 now.
Mm-hmm. I haven't read all 3. My younger sibling, I was going to borrow their copy of the 3rd, but they're actively reading it right now. It got them to read fiction again. My younger sibling, awesome. Big ol' history nerd, mostly just reads like nonfiction history books. And I was like, I think you'd have a lot of fun with these, and they actually really have.
We Have Always Been Here.
Yeah, it's a queer Muslim memoir that I haven't read yet. And then we have some more Southern American fiction is very important to me.
I like the cover of this.
Yeah, and so this is just a collection of Flannery O'Connor short stories. I love Flannery O'Connor, though Wise Blood, which is one of her, I think, 2 novels, not my favorite. But Flannery O'Connor short stories and exploration of the American South is very important. Have you read Sword of Kaigan?
I have not.
Sword of Kaigan is like, it again, probably in my top 5 books, which maybe I've listed more than 5 today. Sword of Kaigan is like, it will rip you apart, but will like change your life forever. Phenomenal book.
I will have to read that at some point.
You be ready to cry, because it will make you cry. And I'm not somebody who cries that often while reading.
Good to know.
Yeah.
We Hunt the Flame.
I haven't read these. Heard phenomenal things about them several years ago. I own books 1 and 2. It's I think it's an enemies to lovers Middle Eastern romance. Her Body and Other Parties is a crazy short story collection by Carmen Maria Machado, who wrote my absolute favorite book of all time, which is In the Dream House, which is a memoir. And there's some wacky, crazy stories in this, but it's a good time. And I mean, they're pretty dark, very queer. I love Carmen Maria Machado. I read anything she writes.
This Is How You Lose the... I read this. I don't know how I felt about it.
I loved it. I honestly need to read it because I read it in like 1 sitting.
Okay, it took me so long to... the prose is beautiful, but it was just so flowery and over the top. I felt like stuff that you could say in 2 sentences took over 2 pages.
I kind of loved it. And I loved Amel El Motar's novella last year, The River Has Roots. Another 5-star read for me. I mean, similar prose, but really, really good.
I didn't dislike it. I think it just took me a really long time to work through it. And I read it while I was reading other books because I could only do a chapter at a time before my brain was like, I'm tired.
Yeah. See, I kind of had the opposite where I just got swept away and it was just done in an afternoon for me.
Well, maybe you're just smarter than I am.
No, I think I just lock in. This is a book I have not read. I got in you buy enough books, we'll give you an ARC for free from a bookstore. Because, of course, I'm going to get on my soapbox. Don't sell ARCs. That's not what they're there for. They're not supposed to be sold. People do all the time. I saw somebody's new book. Somebody had listed it for $300. And the author was like, what are you doing? This is not what advanced reader copies are for. But I haven't read it, but it's a theater romance, so it should be fun. I think this other one is also an ARC from the Mystery Writers of America Awards that I worked in 2025. And they have a whole big old piles of books. Shakespeare inspired, obviously. That's With Kiss I Die. I'm not a big mystery reader, but I got a lot of books from this and sent them to my best friend, who's a huge mystery reader. But this one looked interesting and I should keep it. So Find Her is also from the Mystery Writers of America Awards. I have not read it.
5 years, 3 months, and 12 days. That's how long Ren's mother has been missing.
Oh, here's more cowboy
another
romance.
Cowboy, Swift and Saddled. Mm-hmm. How spicy are the cowboy romances?
They're pretty spicy.
On a level of...
I would say if we're saying,
1 to 5.
I would say a 3.5 to a 4, but they vary based on, this one's number 2. So I think Done and Dusted, which we've already opened, is 1. This is number 2. I think this one maybe is my favorite.
I've never read a cowboy romance, but I feel like I should try it.
Oh, all 3 books, very lovely. I mean, Sapphic Sapphic in general, because I think they're both bisexual in Hang the Moon, but a very fun little adult romance.
Oh, and one
series.
is named Margot.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Is it spelled right?
Yes.
Nice. I have not read Scythe. I've heard phenomenal things about this book and this whole series.
A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Oh, I've heard about this. This sounds really good.
I've heard nothing but amazing stuff about them. I love Lee Knox Ostertag, The Deep Dark. This book just blew me away. Another great indie bookstore pick. I got this at the Fallen Acorn, It's in Williamsburg, Virginia. It's a 5-star read, just like a really, really phenomenal graphic novel. And they're a terrific artist. The Girl in the Sea is another one of theirs. It's really good. And also the Boy Witch, The Witch Boy, which is a series. It's really, really good.
I've seen this recently.
Yeah, I've owned it for years. I've heard really, really good things about it. It's a Europa title. I've worked a lot with Europa. They're lovely.
Ophelia possesses 2 special gifts, a talent for seeing into an object's past and the ability to travel through mirrors. Iris Kelly doesn't date.
I love Ashley Herring Blake. The first one, this is the 3rd one in this series. They're, again, like just a lovely sapphic romance series.
I do like a fake dating trope.
Mm-hmm.
Got another Emily Henry, Beach Read.
Yep.
I've heard that the title and the cover are misleading.
I mean, this is the one where they swap books. So she's a romance writer. He's very literary fiction. And so they swap genres while they're like in this beach town and then fall in love at the same time. It's very fun. I feel like it's got some complexity to it that's really fun. And it's, I don't know, just a cool conceit.
The House in the Cerulean Sea. I've heard really good things about this one.
I absolutely adored it. And everybody I know who's read it has absolutely adored it. Okay, last stack.
Red, White, and Royal Blue.
I think this is my OG copy. Pre-ordered before the book came out, before this book went nuts, before there was a not very great movie adaptation. I love Casey McQuiston, and I love this book, and I love how cheesy silly it is. I don't remember when I picked this up, but
useful phrases for immigrants.
Yeah, I think it's stories from immigrants. It came out a couple of years ago. I maybe got it at the Strand, actually, in New York, and I kept meaning to read it. And then we have my favorite indie published. So like kind of inspired by mythology gods, retelling of its Children of the Gods, but like I loved this first book. And honestly, I need to reread them and find a copy of the third somewhere and see how it all ends. I remember the second one not loving it as much, but I would write notes in books at this time. And I really love this book. And if you're reading this right now, this book is what you need. 2 exclamation points with a smiley face under them.
I love that. I have so many books on my TBR right now, and I've just added at least 2 dozen. Oh my God. I mean, I'm so excited, but also I don't have enough time.
Well, those are the boxes.
Yes, those are all of them. That was our big unboxing. Thank you guys for watching. If there are any of these